Hey everybody, I am right now standing in the middle of UC San Diego, in the middle of their campus, standing on a 560-foot long depiction of the serpent in the Garden of Eden. It starts way down there and winds its way around, passing Milton's Paradise Lost, stretches all the way around up here in circles, and is actually coiling around, like constricting like a boa constrictor, what's supposed to be the Garden of Eden with depictions of Adam and Eve on it, basically destroying the Garden of Eden and ruining it forever. And then its head ends at what is built, the library, which is built to look like the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And so what it's basically saying is, you come as a freshman knowing nothing. You walk up and it's steepest right before it has to crush all innocence and all religion. So you come up and you go through your years and you come to a crisis of faith, and you basically have to let go of religion, you have to let go of God, you have to crush innocence and everything that's good and pure and light. You embrace science and humanism, and then the serpent leads you to the good tree, the true tree, which is the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and you go into the library and you pluck the fruit of humanism. Yeah, so I am literally standing on one of the largest depictions of Satan I think I've ever heard of. So the reason this is scary, the reason humanism is dangerous, and it's not just like, well, people will always fall away, is that literally hundreds of thousands of kids come through these doors and learn about denying their religion, letting it, that's foolish, that's childish, that's myth, you know, leave the myth behind, embrace reality, embrace Jesus, you know, the serpent, and the serpent, who somebody the other day was telling us, like, is the only good character in the Bible, like the only good, which is crazy madness, is saying he will lead you to true life, which is the tree of knowledge, which is scary. This is the Church of Rome, this is Nero, this is all the Greek philosophers who stood up and said there are no absolutes, everything is a wash, nothing remains the same throughout time, there is no absolute truth. And this is what's being promoted and being propagated. This is what's fueling things like pornography. This is the ideology, this is the hotbed of ideologies where Christ is, the seat of Christ, the throne of Christ is contending with the Church of Nero, where you see it when Jesus stands before Pontius Pilate and they're contending the two houses, and it's these ideologies that are giving birth to pornography, to prostitution, to the rise of human trafficking and the abortion agenda, the gay agenda, and it's sweeping across America, and we look at it and we wonder, wow, when did this suddenly pop up? When did this happen? Well, I believe it began to happen when the universities of America that were founded to train and raise up missionaries began to propagate ideologies of humanism, saying man is the end. Man is the end. The greatest thing, I was talking to a kid the other day, the greatest thing we can do, we are the height of all creation. We are the height of everything in existence. Mankind is it. We are in the greatest era we've ever lived in. And this is what's giving birth to, I believe, a lot of the evil in our world. So, pray for UCSD. So then the question becomes, okay, I get it, it's a big deal, but how do we contend against something like this? What do I do as a Christian on a secular university? How do I engage this? What do I do? I mean, I just entered college, or maybe you're long on in college, and it's, what do I do from here? And I think it comes down to not necessarily engaging the powers and principalities, but it's standing just like I'm standing, just like J-Hop San Diego comes out and they stand on the snakehead, claiming an inheritance, believing, as Paul says, that the God of peace will crush Satan under our heel, that we were made, we are born as the Church of Christ to carry forward a word of truth, that I believe that this tree that they try to construct can be so easily turned aside, that if we truly live out a lifestyle of the cross, if we live a lifestyle where we are feeding ourselves off the word, that tree will shine, that tree will be so much more apparent, that tree will be so much more desirable in the eyes and minds of professors and students. And I have no doubt in my mind that if you put the two trees together, the beautiful God-man hanging on two straps of wood, tied together on a hill called Golgotha, and you put it right next to this tree that's about selfishness, that it's about the greatest thing that humans can do, and you put them together, the absolute pinnacle of the two contending houses of prayer, that there should be no problem. When you live out absolute sacrificial love, I mean, humanism is selfish, and God is the absolute antithesis. It is the most selfless thing you can be. When you live that out, and you live out the dichotomy of what you're walking out, that there will be no problem for the world to see. That you will crush humanism when you walk on campus, when you stand up in your classroom and say, I respect you, ma'am, I respect you, sir. But what you're teaching is not the truth, and here's the truth. You come in absolute love. When you lift up a house of prayer, contending prayer on your campus, when you go into radical fasting, when you set yourself to seek out the Word, those are the things that you feed yourself off the tree of life. When you begin to plug into the cross, Jesus Christ says, as he's talking to Nicodemus, that just as Moses lifted up the bronze serpent and everybody who looked to it was healed, the Son of Man will be lifted up on a cross. And then when you go into your campuses, that this is the tree that they're lifting up. And it's our duty to go in as lovers of Christ and lift up the cross. Lift up the tree that all who look to it might be saved. So the challenge is this, for those of us that are working or going to a secular university or maybe even a Christian university, is not coming in anger or hate or rage, but coming in absolute respect and love, and yet refusing to bow down, refusing to deny what we know and hold in our hearts as true. Living a lifestyle of love, yes, but also radical opposition to the ideology of this